Good morning and welcome to today's video from Yokirk Evangelical Church. Today is Wednesday the 17th of February, and in our Bible readings this morning from our plan we read Job chapter 16 and 17 and 1 Corinthians 4. In this video this morning I want to take a look at Job, particularly bits of chapter 16, just because I think they're quite startling as we read them. They can be quite difficult to take on board, and so I just want to take a minute to look at what's going on in Job and how it actually points us to Jesus. The book of Job can be really difficult to read because it's a lot of dense poetry. It's back and forth between Job and his friends, as Job is still grieving from the loss of his children, his property, and he's struggling with the afflictions that he has, the kind of boils and the rashes. His friends come to him and they are throwing ideas around, trying to help Job see, why has this happened to him? And as they go round and round, the basic thrust of their argument is, we know God is just. We know that sin is a consequence. We know that suffering is a consequence of sin. And so, Job, you must have sinned. You've suffered. Let us help you. Where's the sin? What have you done? And Job repeatedly comes back at them and says, I have not sinned. I have not done these wrong things you're saying. This isn't how this has happened to me. Their worldview is that people who suffer must suffer because they have done something to deserve it. They're looking for what it is that's caused this. And Job simply doesn't see it that way. He knows in his heart, and we know from Job chapters 1 and 2, that he is an upright man, that he hasn't truthfully done anything to deserve what has happened to him. And so to him, it feels like God is set against him. Just listen to verse 9, how Job talks about God. God assails me and tears me in his anger. He gnashes his teeth at me. My opponent fastens on me his piercing eyes. I don't think we should take that as descriptive of what God is doing to Job. I think it's how Job feels as he takes this suffering and as he keeps hearing this from his friends. It doesn't feel to him like he's getting a just punishment. It feels to him like he's just on the receiving end of unjustifiable wrath. And so he's crying out to God saying, why are you doing this? Throughout all this, Job just has glimpses of something better. The worldview that his friends have, that suffering is a consequence of sin and there's nothing that can be done about that, is an utterly bleak one. Because Job has found, even when he lives his life honestly and before God, he still suffers. Everything can still be taken away from him. Suffering can come to any one of us, regardless of who we are and what our relationship with God is. And so Job looks hard and he sees that there can be something better. Just listen to the end of chapter 16 from verse 18. Earth, do not cover my blood. Let my cry never be laid to rest. Even now, my witness is in heaven. My advocate is on high. My intercessor is my friend. As my eyes pour out tears to God, on behalf of a man he pleads with God, as one pleads for a friend. Job is looking there and he sees, I need somebody to bridge this gap between me and God. I know the suffering that I am experiencing is wrong and I can't cope. What I need is somebody who can go between me and God, to be an intercessor, an advocate, to make my appeal and make things right between me and him. Job is ultimately looking forwards to the Lord Jesus. Whether he could put the name on it or not, he is looking forward to the day when God will send his Son to reconcile himself to sinful human beings. In the midst of our suffering then, we have this hope of Job, but we have it fully realised that God has sent his Son to be our advocate so that we can come to him. And he says that he will relieve our suffering, perhaps not in this life, But the promise of Jesus is that our advocate will bring us into that perfect relationship with God. I hope you have a great day today, and God bless.